Hello, welcome back to the Aromatic Mystery School. I'm Elizabeth Ashley, the Secret Healer. At the Aromatic Mystery School, we look at how essential oils can help unravel the mysteries of the universe as plants were used in the ancient world, but also how they can help us in our day-to-day spiritual quests and use them as magical tools. And today I want to talk about essential oils for spiritual crisis in terms of if somebody's had a traumatic event that really changes their sense of self. Now my timing's probably off actually, because if you enjoy this work, please do look out for a meeting that I'm going to be having with Helen Nagle-Smith. She's written a book about essential oils for trauma, much more detailed than this video, and she and I will be doing a deep dive into essential oils with trauma. But just now I think there are so many messages coming out about the possibility of going to war, and there's a lot of aggression on the telly that may be triggering people. It certainly triggered me when there was all the aggression in the White House, and I felt like my whole being jumped out my body. I felt like I was properly personally under attack, and that's nonsense, isn't it? That's just not what's happening. But that's what trauma does to you. It can help you, it can make your etheric bodies jump right out, and so you don't feel like you're in your body anymore. So this is a really important area of using essential oils. And the ones that we would tend to use are base notes, ones that make you feel like your energy's been pushed down out of your head into your body. And so the sort of 5 ones that I think are really, really important. So the first one's quite easy to get hold of. It's called Valerian essential oil, and it smells like old tramp's feet. I've got to tell you, it smells horrific, but it is so calming. It's very good for sleep in particular. I have to say, I take valerian capsules to help me sleep at night, and you wake up, you're a bit druggy like that, you can't quite come, it's very slowed down. And it works on a similar way in your body as Valium does on the benzodiazepine receptors. So you will feel very groggy, you will feel numb. But if you've had a shock, that's what you need, right? We need to switch the senses down. So valerian is very good for that. And a related essential oil, one that's not so easy to get, is Spikenard essential oil. And this is really a precious oil. So it has very similar chemical constituents as Valerian. There's a definite overlap, and so they work quite similarly. But if you imagine a cartoon character who's had a shock and they look like that cat, where the etheric bodies are all completely all spiky, and you're like, I can't do that again. I can't, I can't get back in that car. I can't. Spikenard is the very best oil that you can look at. And I have to say, these oils in this section, I've written books about several of them actually. So Spikenard, quite a big book, partly because it's believed it was probably the oil that Mary Magdalene anointed Christ's feet with. And so it's very precious from that point of view, but also it's very precious from the point of view that it grows in the Himalayas in Nepal, high up in the mountains. That it's the tiniest little flower, and the people who live in Nepal are financially quite poor. And so a lot of them have to supplement their income by going and picking medicinal plants for trade, of which this is an important one. And they'll go off for sort of months at a time, and they obviously going a long way up the mountains, so they put their children into an orphanage, and the children stay in an orphanage and they're schooled and looked after within this orphanage. But the cost of you using this essential oil is to the children is vast, because mum and dad have gone away. So this is definitely one of those oils that you only use at the worst kind of situations. Sorry about the train. And shock, of course, trauma, that is the worst kind of situation. And it's very calming, and it's very resilient. I really love Spikenard essential oil. Cedarwood is very good. Cedarwood, Sandalwood, both of them very good for centering you and making you feel like it cuts out the peripheral noise. So there's a family who've had a big fire near here, and I was thinking yesterday, I bet they can't even think straight, you know, they're just overwhelmed with the repercussions of everything that's going to go on. Cedarwood's very good at going, look at what's in front of you, just look at what's in front of you, deal with that, don't deal with the rest, just deal with that. So that's a really good oil to go with. And also Vetiver. So Vetiver, if you try and pour it out the bottle, it'll take about 20 minutes for a drop to come out. It's so heavy, and these heavy molecules are what give that sense of being calmed, soothed, because you're just like, oh, I'm getting dropped down. It's soothing down. And Vetiver feels like this huge blanket's been put down on you. Really, it's got like this very deep voice, that's a very deep energy to it, that's just like, and sit, don't do anything else, just sit. And these slowing energies are really helpful. And from that you can obviously move on to, once the mind's caught up with what's happened, you can go on to looking at more the essentials for hope. There's a video that I can link to, essentials of hope, more uplifting ones where we process that. But yeah, these traumatic oils, and so all of these are base notes to bring the energy down. There is always, I think, an exception that proves the rule, and that would be rose. Rose is so good for shock, for grief, and yet the energy, it pushes the energy up. It's almost like you can look down on it rather than being pushed down. So yeah, those would be my main oils for shock. Vetiver, Valerian, Spikenard, rose, cedarwood, sandalwood. So essentials for shock, essentials for trauma, those. And also I would say, if you know how to do chakra work or aura work, working on the etheric bodies, of actually moving them back into the right spaces, learning to douse where they're supposed to be and getting them in the right place, so people don't feel like, oh, I feel like I'm not even in my body. That's a definite thing. That can be really helpful. But those are the best oils to bring the etheric bodies back into alignment and to stop people thinking. So those are my essential oils for spiritual crisis, essential oils for shock, essential oils for trauma. And as I say, look out for mine and Helen's deep dive on essential oils for trauma. Meanwhile, don't forget to like and subscribe if you want to know more about the Aromatic Mystery School, where we go more into this work. Have a look in the description below. You'll see my link tree, and that'll take you on a link to go and have a poke around the Aromatic Mystery School.